The training program in PFMD came to life because after we've developed all these kind of different guidances, quality principles and tools for actually tracking patient engagement, enabling patient engagement in research and development, we thought, how do we establish that in practice? And that is sometimes more difficult than we think because it requires to look at standard operating procedures, change the way the industry has been doing drug development for the last 20 or 30 years, and looking at key performance indicators and the goals and the interaction with patient organizations. And in practice, that's not easy. You need to adapt the way you listen to patients, adapt the way you develop your clinical development plans and so on. And that's where the training comes in, and that's why we in PFMD want to actually establish a training and are at the moment setting it in practice, that we can train people in the pharmaceutical industry from different departments about how to engage with patients, why does it count for their own work, how do they establish that in the work that they are doing, and so on. All that will be covered by the training, which will be done by patient advocates, industry representatives, and other very knowledgeable people in the field.
I think the training that we're developing for the pharmaceutical industry is so critical, because if we're going to truly become centered around patients, then all of us within the industry must come to the table with a common language, so that working with patients and patient groups and other healthcare collaborators, we have a common understanding and are all aligned around a common purpose.
Patient engagement training for industry is really important because the role of the patient has evolved. Instead of being passive recipients of healthcare, patients are now educated, informed, and actively engaged in their healthcare. So as an industry, we need to move from doing things for patients to doing things with patients. And when we do, we develop solutions that better meet needs. We accelerate research and get the medicines to patients who need them quicker. Therefore, the training can help accelerate that change by making sure that anyone who's involved in a pharmaceutical company understands what patient engagement is, understands the value of patient engagement, and has a little bit of a better understanding of what their role is in patient engagement. We can accelerate the effort to partner with patients and speed up the transformation of how we do our work.
Why do we train in our life and throughout our life? Training always comes out of a need. Either we feel it ourselves or somebody tells us we have the need. And whether that's at school learning a new language or a calculation, or later driving a car, the learning doesn't stop. And the learning doesn't stop because the world around us evolves and creates new needs. And so the world has evolved in realizing that patients need to be engaged throughout medicine's development. And we in pharma had to humbly acknowledge that we did not know very well how to do that, and we still do not know enough. So we need training. And we need this training to be consistent. Consistent to provide a quality around the world, around therapeutic areas, that is the same, so that patients always get the best interactions possible. And so as we sat together, which is something new also, is to sit together and to discuss common needs in a non-competitive, above-product way, we realized that the best way was to work together, to create something that would become industry standard, and not something that would only represent one company or one therapeutic area or one country. So once we had defined our common need, we proposed to PFMD if they could please help us, instead of each of us trying to find a solution in our own corner. And that is why we now have this initiative, because the PFMD board saw the opportunity as well as the common need, and that's exactly what they're about.